AITA for going scorched earth over my inheritance rings. Trigger warnings, theft, mentions of past trauma, sexual assault, coercion, infidelity, emotional and verbal abuse. I know the title sounds bad, and I also know that parts of this make me a bad person. However, I also think I deserve grace and understanding. Maybe I'm completely wrong though. I'm in the middle of a divorce with my 26F husband, 29M. The divorce happened for many reasons. I started dating my ex when I was 15 and got married at 19. I was so young and broken from childhood. He made me feel complete and used to say that he was the only one who could help put me back together. I believed him. I thought if I was with him, I'd be okay. That was true for the most part, but I lost a lot of my identity. I thought I was happy. But when you lose yourself in someone, you can't understand how toxic they can be, because I thought I was finally whole. Then 2020 hit. My husband's infrequent outbursts became more common as his drinking got worse. He would scream at me, tell me I was worthless and stupid, tell me I wasn't having enough fun anymore, coerce me into sex by telling me I was useless unless I put out and that he deserved it. He also hit me a few times when I got mad back or said no to sex. He messed around with his friend's wife and his best friend's girlfriend. To be honest, I thought I deserved this behavior. I thought I deserved the abuse because I wasn't good enough. This is where the second part of my story starts. I found out about his friend's girlfriend because the friend told me. He didn't deny it. I felt broken. I resolved to stay and work it out, but I ended up close with his friend. We started hanging out, and I felt very close with him super quickly. I pumped the brakes when I thought I might have feelings and talked with my husband. He, maybe because he was drunk, maybe because he thought I wouldn't do it, gave me the go-ahead. He said he figured if he fucked around, I could too. I enjoyed every minute with him. At first, it was purely sexual. He was leaving a bad relationship. I was trying to learn how to ask for what I wanted. But over time, I found out how awesome he was, and little by little, my personality felt like it was coming back. One day, I decided to tell him everything he did to me. With my new confidence, I learned that I didn't deserve that behavior. He was absolutely horrified, said he figured something was up, but didn't realize to what extent. He said he would be there for me, no matter what, and he was. We fell in love, and I didn't know what to do. He loves me, but isn't sure if he wants to be with me because of the severe blowback he'd have personally. I ended up deciding to get divorced. Even if I couldn't have him, I knew that I couldn't be in that home, constantly scared and freaking out. I filed, and then it was like a switch for my husband. He stopped drinking, said he would go to couples therapy, and honestly, all the abuse stopped. I felt like I was making the wrong decision, like I should stay, but I knew I could not ever go back to how it was. He asked me to stop seeing my partner. I told him I did, but I did not. I couldn't, and even though my husband was trying, I couldn't get over everything he did to me over the last 3 years. Maybe I could have if I stopped seeing my friend, but I didn't. I just knew I never wanted to go back to the potential of that. Now, I feel horrible. I still am seeing my friend. I'm still in love with him. Even with the uncertain future, I enjoy every day I get to see him. He said he feels the same. The guilt about it eats at me, but I just can't stop seeing him. In the divorce, my friends all took his side. He told them about my friend, but not about his abuse, and with him working on himself, I didn't want to tell anyone. I didn't think it was helpful. So now, everyone knows about me and my friend, but everyone thinks we are not together. No one really talks to us though. My divorce should be over in December. I'm excited and ready for it all to be behind me. I won't lie though. I'm hopeful that my friend and I can be together. And if that makes me a bad person, that sucks. But I don't want to wait hoping a man can get it together. I want something great that's in front of me, and if we don't work, that's fine too. I just know I deserve better. Relevant comments. You're making a mistake by not telling your friends what's really going on. You're allowing him to trash you, and he will continue to do it. Give your friends a chance to support you. And take it from a much older sister, the working on himself thing is phony. He'd go right back to being an abusive asshole if you went back. It happens all the time. A spouse abuses another spouse, then vows to fix things when they leave. All they do is go right back when the spouse is roped back in. Your new guy is a rebound. When you've been with an abuser, pretty much anyone who doesn't abuse you looks good. Been there. Have the t-shirt. Get divorced and stay single while you get on your own 2 feet. OP, yeah, he might be a rebound, but I've been with him for a year. He's been very supportive. I'm hoping that we take some time apart and I can heal. I got my own apartment 2 hours from my ex in a big city, able to make my own money, and it's been nice. Comment. I am so proud of you for getting out of this horrible marriage any way you can. But I want you to know this time apart from your other guy is a gift you absolutely must accept. I've been in these situations before, and I have to tell you, I do not regret the relationship so much as I regret not talking to the time to be alone for a long-ass time. You are so brave, but you need to heal and learn to love yourself more. I can see you're already on your way, but you know, do it more. OP, thank you. I appreciate it. I kinda needed the permission to do just that. My friend said he will be completely understanding if that's what I choose and support it. I'm just trying to wait until I get my bearings in the new city before we part ways. He knows this. But neither of us want it, but we know I need it. And if he's still single when that happens and we hit it off again, that'd be amazing. But it will also be fine if not. Update 1. 4 months later. My F27 mom passed away a year ago. It was known that it was a possibility, so my mom divided up her jewelry my dad had gotten her over the years to give to us if she passes. I had picked out 2 rings I had helped my dad pick out. They were not cheap, about $10,000 a piece when I got them appraised. When I left my husband, 30M, I left pretty quickly and with basically nothing just to get out. He kept some of my stuff, but it was in our divorce agreement that certain things were to be given to me and held in a safe deposit box until I could get them. I took basically nothing monetarily from the marriage when I left and gave him basically everything. The divorce is now final, and I finally came back to my home state to pick up the rings. I found out that he did not put the rings in the safety deposit box, just some of my other jewelry. I confronted him about it, and I found out that not only did he not place them for safekeeping, he stored them in his new girlfriend's, F21, apartment, who says she had them in her jewelry box for safekeeping but she can't find them. She knew what they were according to the texts I have, and that they were not his or a gift. I talked to my divorce lawyer. He's been filing a lawsuit since 1. Inheritance is not marital property, and 2. My ex did not follow his end of the divorce decree. I'm asking for $25,000, the cost of the rings plus emotional damages for the loss of the only thing I have left from my mom. I also filed a report to the police for the theft of the rings by his girlfriend. That probably won't go anywhere though, but they are investigating if she or he sold them. I think it's a high possibility given the value. I'm devastated by losing these. They were so special to me. He and his girlfriend are pissed at me because it's too much money that they don't have. She could get charged with theft or laundering the money from selling them for my ex. Not sure. This is mostly for my lawyer, and it's just a couple rings. His friends, my old friends who I don't speak with, have been blowing up my phone calling me a bitch, and I hurt him so much already and to just leave it alone that I'm getting what I deserved. I wish I could get the rings back, but I'm so upset at this and over his whole attitude about it that I want to basically go scorched earth on them. At this point, it's not only about the sentimental value, but to give a big fuck you after everything. Relevant comments. NTA. He needs to give you a complete and honest account of what happened to your rings. If he'd rather see his new girlfriend in jail than face the truth, well, it sucks to be her and be thrown under the bus. OP, that's my biggest thing. I want to know where they went. If he would just tell me, locate them, and give them back, I might not have to do this. It's not even about the money. It's about taking away something so important to me. Most likely they're in some pawn shop. I'm not in town much longer, but my siblings said they would search every pawn shop to see if one of them has it. Comment. Yeah, theft over $5,000 is an indictable offense. In the US, it would constitute a felony. Is it? Probably depending on the state. OP, it's a felony. It's just whether or not they can get proof of the actual theft. It seems like the cops are viewing it as a divorce issue more so than a criminal issue. They are looking into it, but I don't think it's a priority for them. My best bet is probably going back to divorce court, according to my attorney. Comment. Who cares what his friends say? The rings were your property, and he either lost or sold them. Hold them accountable. OP, I agree. I just hate how my phone is blowing up. It's hard to continuously be called a bitch everything else they say about me. I've been thinking about changing my number over all this. Comment. I don't know how losing $20,000 is okay with them. OP, they think I'm a cheater who ruined his life. My other post gets into it more, but basically he was an abusive alcoholic who cheated a lot. I got with a guy after he said I could, and everyone believes I got with my new guy and left, not recognizing his abuse and cheating on me throughout the marriage. So, they think I deserve it. Comment. If you have photos, you can have your family take them to the pawn shops and explain the situation. They won't want to hold on to stolen goods. OP, we have photos, thank God. We took pictures when deciding who would get what so that my dad knew who to give them to. Update 2. I posted around a week ago about my ex-husband stealing my rings. I was getting nowhere with him. The cops seemed pretty uninterested, and my lawyer said that while we had a case, it could take ages. My family went through a lot of pawn shops, but couldn't find anything. I was feeling pretty horrible about everything going on, and figured they were a lost cause, until a friend from my past messaged me on Instagram earlier this week. She never had sent me anything bad like other people. We just didn't talk. She linked a profile of my ex's new girlfriend's brother and said, I'm not sure. His fiancé's ring looks like it might be yours. This friend also lost her mother when she was younger, and said she didn't care what happened between me and my ex, but she wasn't letting some guy take that away from me. We talked for a bit, and she said she was upset when she heard about the rings being missing, and my ex gloated saying I wasn't ever giving them back, and wanted to find them if she could. I went over to the page and sure as shit my favorite ring, a diamond with weaving silver and rose gold diamond pave band, was prominent in his engagement photos. I then went all CIA on them, looked at every family member this girl has, and found another sister with my other ring, saying it was her purity ring gifted by her sister for her 16th birthday. I was floored and very pissed. I called into work for the rest of the week and drove my ass back to my hometown, picked up my brother, and went to my ex's apartment. My ex answered the door, and I lied, telling him that the cops were going to arrest his girlfriend's brother and sister for theft, and he could give me those rings back in 2 days or else. One day went by, no rings, so I messaged the brother's new fiancée on Instagram, showed her pictures of the ring on my hand and my mom's hand, and said it was stolen and that I wanted it back. This poor girl was appalled. I honestly think she had no idea. We ended up calling each other. She apologized and said she would talk to her fiancé. I told her that I was getting that ring back. We ended up meeting up. I showed her more proof it was mine, told her the whole story, and thank God, she gave it back to me. She said she didn't like her fiancé's sister, and that she thought she was bad news, and basically stayed away from her. She said she would talk to her fiancé about why in the hell he thought getting a ring from her would be a good idea. I guess word got out, and my ex started calling me incessantly, basically leaving messages saying he'd do anything, but not make his girlfriend's sister give back the ring. It was embarrassing, etc. I picked my brother back up, went back to his apartment. This time both his girlfriend and him were there. A yelling match started. My brother had to keep me from basically clawing the eyes out of that bitch. I ended up literally sitting in their entryway saying I wasn't leaving until I got that ring, or they could call the cops to remove me and I'd tell them about the rings. I don't know exactly what happened after that, but she left and came back with the ring after about an hour. The whole time my ex was saying my mom was basically his too, and he should have something from her and it was only right. My brother was basically staying in between me and him, telling him to back off. When I got the second ring back, I stood up and just finally lost my shit. Years of him, and I don't think I'd ever gotten that mad before. I screamed at him, told him off, and spit on him when I left. I don't think it was the most mature response, but it felt fucking good. I'm also surprised that he didn't get a noise complaint cops called on us, but the apartment isn't necessarily known for being nice. As for why the F that woman thought it a good idea to give the rings to her family, I don't know. I'm hoping that my old friend might give me some gossip, or that I might hear from the fiancé, but honestly, I'm just happy that my rings are back, and the drama is settled. I don't have to deal with them anymore. Nothing else is needed from our divorce decree. My boyfriend promised me a massage and cuddles from the cat when I get back into town, and honestly, I'm just hoping to never hear from them again. Relevant comments. Glad you got them back. I hope his GF runs. OP. Honestly, I think they deserve each other. They both knew exactly what they were doing. But the not heartless side of me hopes she sees him for what he is and leaves, and that he gets sober and gets better. Update 3. Last time I updated, I let everyone know I got my rings back. I have a little update in a positive direction, and some more info about the girlfriend's ex-future sister-in-law. Some people complained about name confusion, so here it is. Editor's notes. Added relationship terms to clarify who is who. Daisy, my ex's girlfriend, Luke's GF. Luke, my ex Kayla, ex's girlfriend's future sister-in-law, Dave's GF. Dave, ex's girlfriend's brother, Daisy's brother. Luke had reached out to my brother asking to speak to me. I had him blocked, so I never got the messages. My brother asked me and I agreed. Luke told me went to treatment, has been sober, and is remorseful. He said that the ring debacle and divorce made him realize how messed up he became. He started AA therapy and broke up with his girlfriend, dumped his enabling friends, and is living with his brother for now. He found a few more things, like pictures of my mom, and gave them to my brother to give me. He let me know he understands I want minimal contact and won't reach out again unless I do. I'm honestly happy for him and hoping he stays sober. Update on Daisy, Kayla, and Dave. According to Kayla, I guess there was a lot of tension. The girls had no contact with Dave, saying he did not know about the ring until Luke left Daisy. Once he did, Daisy showed up at Kayla and Dave's house begging for a place to stay. She couldn't afford rent on her own. Dave, without asking Kayla, said yes. She moved in, and I guess it was a shit show from the start. She didn't help out, was constantly drunk high. It devolved further and Daisy stole some of Kayla's jewelry. Dave kept covering for her and Kayla thought she was going crazy until she caught Daisy in her and Dave's bedroom looking through stuff. Daisy and Kayla got into it, and it came out that Dave knew about the ring and again, Dave covered for Daisy. The fight got physical. Cops were called and Daisy was arrested for assault and drug possession. Once Dave got home, Dave was pissed about his sister going to jail, while Kayla was pissed about the ring-her-own jewelry. They broke up. They are in the process of selling their house. She called me sometime after all this to vent, let me know. It sounds like she doesn't have a good support system. As for me, I am still living my best life with my boyfriend and cat. I'm treated so well and am still in therapy to heal. I'm pretty far removed from all the crazy. I don't plan on updating again as I'm doing well and no longer have anything to do with any of this. Thank you everyone for your kind words and support. I appreciate everything.